Today, we're answering a pretty simple question. If you're buying a gas grill, what do you actually get when you move from a $400 grill to a $900 grill to a $1,300 grill? Because on paper, every grill kind of sounds the same. Stainless steel, big BTUs, sear zone, side burner, pro results. We've all heard it. But when you actually cook on them, what's the difference? So today I'm comparing 3 grills from Monument Grills, one of my favorite manufacturers, the Mesa II, the Denali 605 Pro, and the Eminence 605. 3 different price points, 3 different types of grills, and honestly, they're made for 3 pretty different personalities. I'll just say this right up front, this video is not just the most expensive one is the best. That's boring. So let's start at the budget end with the Monument Mesa II. At around the $400 mark, this is the grill built for beginners, casual grillers, apartment patio people, or guys entering their I should learn how to grill phase of life. It's perfect for those weeknight grills or even the meal preppers out there. The first thing I liked about it, which is honestly kind of boring, it's how easy it was to put together. My brother and I built it in like 35 minutes and we weren't in a rush. The instructions were clear, the hardware made sense, and for a beginner grill, that matters. Because if your first experience with grilling is wrestling sheet metal in your driveway for 3 hours, it doesn't exactly inspire confidence. But the bigger surprise with the Mesa II is how fast it gets hot. Monument says this thing can hit 500 degrees in about 5 minutes, and that actually matters more than people think. Because most weeknight grilling problems are not, I need a grill that can cook 14 racks of ribs. Most weeknight grilling problems are, everyone is getting cranky, and it's cold outside, and I really need these steaks to finish. And that's where this thing makes sense. It's quick, it's approachable, and it gets hot enough to actually sear. The Mesa II has Monument's broil zone on the right side, so you basically get a hotter side for searing and a more normal side for finishing. And if you're new to grilling, that's a really nice way to learn zone cooking without making it too complicated. Hot side for color, cool side for control, that's the whole game. I also really like the pegboard storage design on the body of the grill. I know that sounds like a small thing, but small things matter when you actually use a grill every week. Being able to hang tongs, gloves, towels, paper towels, whatever, it keeps your space cleaner and it makes the whole setup feel more intentional. Now, is this thing built like a tank? No. Okay, at this price point, the steel is not gonna feel pre-World War II. All right, it's solid, it's usable, and it looks good, but it's not Fort Knox. And honestly, at this price, I'd rather the money go towards something like the burners and the cooktop more than making the body unnecessarily overbuilt. So the Mesa II is for the person who wants to get into grilling, wants quick weeknight dinners, wants something that looks nice, heats up fast, and doesn't require a pitmaster certification to use. Okay, it's the ideal, I want to grill more this summer, grill. Now, let's jump up a level. This is the Denali 605 Pro. And this is where the video starts getting fun, because the Mesa II feels like a really good first grill. The Denali feels like you have officially become the guy who hosts. Like, you don't just own a grill anymore. You have opinions about where people should park. The first thing you notice is that it's big. Monument lists this around 900 square inches of total cooking area with 6 burners, and that changes what kind of cooking you can do. With the Mesa II, I'm thinking family dinner. With the Denali, I'm thinking birthday party, fight night, 4th of July, church picnic, and that's really the point of this grill. It's not just about getting hotter, it's about making hosting easier. More space means you're not cooking 6 burgers and 6 more and then 6 more burgers while everyone else is already eating. You can load this thing up and actually enjoy the party instead of being chained to the grill all afternoon, which, as much as I love grilling, is a huge perk. And heat-wise, they're not messing around. Monument says it can hit 700 in about 10 minutes. I actually had to keep turning it down, trying to find the sweet spot. The high intensity sear zone on the right side is very obvious, partly because of this dedicated red knob. And honestly, thank goodness for that, because if I had forgotten where it was, I may have opened this thing and donated my eyebrows to science. It gets ripping hot. So if you want that steakhouse style crust, or you're doing carne or burgers or chops, anything you want real color fast, this grill can do it. One feature I didn't fully appreciate until looking more into it is this modular grate system. There's a removable section in the center where you can swap in different accessories, like a pizza stone, a cast iron griddle, or this diamond gridiron grate for those big steakhouse grill marks. And that's actually pretty cool because it turns this thing from just a big gas grill into a more flexible outdoor cooking station. So you can do pizza one night, breakfast on the griddle the next morning, and then burgers that afternoon, and then steaks for dinner, which sounds excessive, yeah, but also kind of exactly what I want this summer. I also love, and I don't mean to gush here, but I love this slide out propane tank tray. Slide out propane tank tray. And if you've never owned a gas grill, that might sound like the least exciting feature of all time, but if you have owned one, you know how annoying and painful this is. You're hunched over trying to change the propane tank, twisting it sideways, trying not to throw out your back. And based on my YouTube analytics, 99% of you watching are men over 25. So can I get an amen for this feature? The Denali also has the smart features: digital screen, Bluetooth monitoring, built-in probes, and those LED knobs. Are the lights absolutely necessary? No. Do they look awesome at night? Yes. Are we allowed to enjoy things? Also yes. Now, a couple honest notes. Assembly took longer than the Mesa II, which makes sense because this is a much bigger grill with a lot more features and electronics. I still found myself wishing parts of the frame felt a little thicker. Not because it was cheap, but because once the grill starts getting into this price range, I start looking more closely at the construction for the sake of durability. This is kind of the sweet spot if you're the person who regularly cooks for family, friends, neighbors, your kids' friends, the guy who always says, yeah, I'll Venmo you for the meat, and never does. It gives you the big cooking area, serious heat, searing power, smart features, and versatility, without jumping all the way up into the top tier price. Speaking of, let's take a look at the big boy. This is the Monument Eminence 605. And this is where things start feeling a little less, hey, I bought a grill, and a little more, I'm building an outdoor kitchen. The Eminence is easily the most premium of the three. And honestly, the funny thing is that $1,300 is a lot of money, but in the grill world, it's not crazy. There's a lot of enthusiasts who will happily spend $2,000 or more on a grill. The Eminence, which is right behind me there, is listed at $89,000 total BTU, with 6 blade infrared burners, a built-in ceramic rear infrared burner, and a side searing station. It can hit around 800 degrees in 10 minutes, which is hot enough to ruin your evening if you're overconfident. It also feels a little more premium in the details. The stainless grates, which are great, the heavier construction, the heavy-duty wheels, the finish, and the way people react when they see it. Pretty much everyone who saw this grill during a party we hosted commented on how it looks. It's got curb appeal, and it looks expensive in a way that makes people walk over and ask questions. I did struggle with the assembly a bit more on this one. Several of the instruction steps had multiple stages packed into one diagram, and the illustrations were small enough that my blind old man eyes were fighting for their life. Also, in a move I do not recommend, I used an impact driver and stripped one of the screws on the burner top. That sent me back about 90 minutes. But once this was together, this thing was awesome. I cooked brats and hot dogs for a crowd of 40, and I got through everything in roughly 15 minutes. You're paying for capacity, speed, convenience, and style points. And a simple addition like this smoke tube filled with pellets or wood chips can add a ton of genuine smoke flavor to anything you're cooking. The rear ceramic infrared burner is for rotisserie cooking, and that's one of the major upgrades here. If you've never used a rotisserie burner, the idea is that instead of blasting the heat from below, you're getting more even, radiant heat from the back while the food rotates. That's perfect for chickens, prime rib, pork loin, even al pastor, where they stack it up on the pineapple. Anything where you want slow, even roasting with that crispy outside on it. And while it doesn't have the same slide out propane tray that I liked on the Denali, it does have built-in fuel monitoring through the screen, and I love that because there's nothing worse than running out of propane halfway through cooking dinner. I ashamedly say that from experience. So if the Denali is great for grilling big meals, the Eminence gives you more of that full outdoor kitchen feeling. You can grill, sear, roast, rotisserie, check your fuel levels, and run either propane or natural gas depending on your setup. That dual fuel option is actually a big deal if you're thinking long term, because propane is convenient, but natural gas makes more sense if you're building a more permanent backyard setup. The Eminence supports both, so you're not locked into one path forever. And at night, this thing gets a little ridiculous. This is for the serious grilling enthusiast. The person who already knows that they love outdoor cooking, they want rotisserie, they want infrared searing, they want stainless steel grates, they want natural gas flexibility. If you're brand new and just trying to learn burgers and chicken, I probably wouldn't start here. But if grilling is already a part of your lifestyle or you're building an outdoor kitchen, the Eminence makes a lot of sense for you. Monument does have a Memorial Day promotion going on, and they gave me a couple exclusive discount codes for you guys. So if you're looking at the Denali, use code DenaliPro50, and if you're looking at the Eminence, use code Eminence100. All right, friends, grab something cold and go cook something awesome. Peace.